What's going on, everybody? My name is MT, and welcome back to DaFAQs, a show where I just answer frequently asked questions that people have on the internet, even though nobody asked me to. X-Men Apocalypse, the 9th film set in the X-Men universe. Holy shit! We have had 9 X-Men films since the year 2000. We were supposed to die that year. Remember Y2K? When everybody thought that the computers were gonna kill us? That was a fiasco. I was like 8 and I had no idea why my religious Haitian mother randomly started enthusiastically collecting canned beans. Mom, why do I have cans of beans in my pillowcase? It's because the American people don't want to pray to Jesus Christ, and now the devil is going to make all the plane fall from the sky. Oh, okay. So, are we still going to church tomorrow, or? Of course! Wait, but you said the planes. I said of course. But anyway, since that apocalypse, we have lived through a bunch of other apocalypses, because people are dumb. But this apocalypse is different, because this apocalypse has a post-credits scene. And while I will not spoil what happens during this scene, I am going to talk about the most important element from that scene. So, if you want to go into X-Men Apocalypse completely blind, please get the fuck out. Don't worry, MT. If I feel like you spoiled the movie for me, I'll just call you a racial slur in the comments section. How do you feel about Jigaboo? Nope. Get the fuck out. You've been warned. So, if you have seen X-Men Apocalypse, you're probably asking 4 questions. 1, who was that man in the suit? 2, why does that suit say Essex Corp? 3, what website is offering this Essex? And 4, do they accept PayPal? Because I'm lonely. But no, seriously, what is this movie hinting at with that shady Essex Corp guy anyway? Like, what was that all about? Well, buckle the hell up, ladies and gentlemen, because Essex Corp means that the X-Men are finally getting ready to face one of the most evil and nefarious villains that the less cool version of the Marvel Cinematic Universe has ever seen. Guys, you don't understand. Even his name sounds evil, okay? You guys want to hear it? Fine. Okay. Okay. Nathaniel. Goddamn. Gave me goosebumps. Just kidding. It's actually Mister Sinister. But his government name is Nathaniel, though. Nathaniel Essex. But that was before he became a creepy, pale, vampire-looking motherfucker with a rhombus on his face. But MT, who exactly is Ashy Vampire Rhombus Man? And has he done anything important in the X-Men universe? But, most importantly, how exactly does one rhombus oneself? And what are the benefits? Those are some bloody good questions, mate. And to answer them, we have to go back to 19th century England, where nobody talked like this, because this is a terrible British accent. I don't even know what the fuck that was. Like most evil people in the world, Nathaniel Essex started off as a biologist who liked to read, and his favorite author, Maurice Sendak. Second favorite, Charles Darwin, the father of the theory of evolution. Like, guys, dude was all about Darwin and his theories. Like, he obsessed over them to an unhealthy degree and conducted hours of research based on those theories. And what exactly makes a person obsess over Charles Darwin like this? A genuine love of science, of course. Also, a dead son. He had a son who died at the age of 4 from like really bad birth defects, like crooked bones and hemophilia. It's pretty sad. So naturally, an event like that will probably make you consider buying a one-way ticket onto the crazy train. A crazy train that, as you will see, Nathaniel was well on his way of becoming the conductor of. But anyways, through his research on genetics, Nathaniel Essex was the first human to discover that the human race was evolving and mutating due to something that he called the Essex factor, because he was so awesome and things should be named after him. However, when he presented these findings to the scientific community during his time for like recognition and project funding, they were like, right, yeah, human beings are definitely still evolving. Oh boy, I just can't wait for wings to grow out of my armpits tomorrow. Get the fuck out of here, Nathaniel. Like, get out. And so Nathaniel was basically laughed and shunned out of the scientific community until one day when his luck finally turned around and he was mugged on the street by a street gang. From the streets. However, these guys are not your normal street gang, okay? These guys are basically the ugly police. You see, the Marauders were a group that rounded up and captured weird-looking, disfigured people and locked them up underground as a service to the people of England, because how are you gonna drink tea when there's just an ugly person just standing there? And so the Marauders basically walk up to Nathaniel like, hey you! Why you look so white? What? I'm sorry. I'm anemic, so it's kind of hard for me not to be white, so put him in the van! Put him in the van! Wait, no, where are you taking me? What do you mean, where are you taking me? I just said, we're putting you in the van so that you can join the rest of the ugly people that we put in the sewers. Are you deaf? Wait, no, please, you can't take me there. I'm a genius. I have books at home. Maurice Sendak. Wait. Did you say you had people? Yeah. In the sewers? Yeah. Like, people? Yes, people. That's great. Do you guys want a job? Wait, for real? Crap. I didn't bring my resume. You don't need it. What are your strengths? Kidnapping people that look like Quasimodo. Great. What are your weaknesses? Sometimes I just kidnap people all day because I don't know when to stop because I'm such a hard worker. You're hired. Yeah. Yes. Wait, what did I just apply for? And so what Nathaniel actually does is he hires these marauders to go out and do their ugly people kidnappy thing. Not because he believes in their cause or anything, but so that he can experiment on those people that they capture, for science and stuff. Because you see, as much as Nathaniel appreciated and admired the works of scientists like Charles Darwin, he felt like their potential was limited by that annoying thing that people sometimes adopt called a moral compass. Whatever that means. But forget about all that, because now he has a bunch of people in his basement that he can experiment on and find out the secrets of genetic mutation. But his wife, oddly not okay with that shit. And do you know what could possibly make all of that even more not okay? Walking in on your husband experimenting on the body of your dead 4-year-old son. And so, that shocking discovery makes her body really sick, and now she's dying. And on her deathbed, Nathaniel's like, baby, please don't go, I love you, baby. I'm gonna do anything within my scientific mind power to save you. But then she's like, no, don't touch me, you sick freak. I don't even know you anymore, okay? You've become something else. You've become something sinister. And then she died. That sucks. But who cares? Let's talk about Apocalypse. You see, Apocalypse was asleep for a couple of hundreds of years because his phone died after he set all of his alarms. And so when he woke up, he was like, I feel good. I feel refreshed. What is good with Earth these days? Do we got internet yet? Can I buy a Tamagotchi? And so word came to Apocalypse about Nathaniel Essex and his research on mutation. And so, naturally, Apocalypse pops by and is like, what's going on? My name's Apocalypse. Heard you got some cool shit going on in your basement. I came to check it out. If that's cool, doesn't matter. I'm Apocalypse, and I could murder you. And so, Nate shows Apocalypse all of his research. And then, after that, Apocalypse shows Nate all the cool shit he can do. And then Nate's like, oh man, oh shit. You're the world's first mutant. And then Apocalypse was like, well, I am? That's cool as shit, man. And then Apocalypse is like, look, Nathaniel, I like you. You're a cool guy. You're cool with all this science stuff. And I don't know if you've noticed, but you humans tend to, expire after like 70 to 80 years or so. How about, and here's an idea, how about you live forever, huh? You could be my scientist and do evil science stuff for me. And I can buy you beakers and stuff. And an abacus. Do you science nerds use abacuses? And so Nathaniel, with no wife, no child, no moral compass, and probably no abacus, agrees, because eternal life is great. And so Apocalypse takes Nathaniel to his place, puts him in a fancy Apocalypse machine, and then bam, X-Men Origins, Rhombus. But Nathaniel didn't just get immortality and a fancy new pale face, okay? He also now has superhuman strength, speed, and durability. Also, he's one of the world's strongest telepaths and can control your mind and even turn off your mutant powers for a while. And he can shoot beams from his hands, and also his forehead rhombus. And eventually, he'll get the power to shapeshift and teleport as well. Because why not? He's only a sociopath. Let's give him all these powers. And because he was now a new person, he decided to give himself a new name, Mister Sinister, based on his wife's angry last words to him. Because he was crazy. And then Apocalypse is like, great, you're immortal now. Great. Now, first things first, I'm gonna need you to make a plague that wipes out all the weak people in humanity. Could you do that for me? Yes I can. What's going on, champ? How's that plague coming along? It's done! See? What is this? I made a plague that affects only you, because you're crazy and like to murder people for fun, while I like to torture and murder people for science. And it's different. Haha, you son of a bitch. Alright, okay. Well, I'm gonna go nap this plague off. And when I wake up, though, you're gonna be my bitch again, okay? You're still my bitch. And so Apocalypse goes back to sleep, and Mr. Sinister's like, fuck, I made a deal with the devil. I'm freaking screwed, man. When this guy wakes up, I'm gonna be this man's bitch. Unless I can make a someone that can kill him. I should do that. And that particular someone that he had in mind was the potential mutant offspring of one Scott Summers and Jean Grey. You see, ever since Mr. Sinister discovered that Scott and Jean Grey existed, all he could think about was those two whippersnappers just having the sex, like the weird old man that he is. What a weird guy. He waited for Scott to be born and sent to an orphanage so he could do not-so-fun, borderline torturous experiments on him and his powers. But Scott doesn't remember all of this when he grows up because Mr. Sinister uses his telepathic powers to make him forget. And, fun fact, after all of his experiments on Scott Summers, Mr. Sinister is actually the one that gives him his famous red ruby quartz glasses that help him control his laser eyes. So, I'm not sure if that makes up for all the torture, but, you know, it's a start. And so anyway, Cyclops grows up, meets Jean Grey, they fall in love, and everything's going into plan, right? But then, out of nowhere, Mr. Sinister hears that Jean Grey just went and had to go ahead and die on the moon. And then he's like, what the hell, man? She needs to make my magic baby that's gonna save me from Satan. And so, long story short, he clones Jean Grey to make a new Jean Grey who he calls Madeline Pryor so that Scott can fall in love with her and so they can bone. And they do! And they have a baby, Nathan Summers. And so Sinister was like, cool, thanks guys, you did the thing that I wanted you to for a long ass time. And now I have my perfect anti-apocalypse weapon, and life is great. And then he sends his group of mutant mercenaries called the Marauders, after the Marauders from the 19th century, to kidnap the child and to murder Madeline Pryor because her use is pretty much over. And though the Marauders managed to kidnap the baby, they kind of failed at killing Madeline, who, and I'm simplifying the complex nature of everything that happened, takes her baby back from Sinister, but then Sinister takes the baby back from her, but then Cyclops takes it back from him, and then sends the baby into the future, where that baby would come everybody's favorite best friend of Deadpool, Cable, a guy who would grow up to punch Apocalypse in the face, and then murder him. And then, after all of that, Cyclops, being the good father that he is, decided to completely incinerate Mr. Sinister with his eyeballs for touching his baby. But, for some reason, Mr. Sinister would somehow survive that blast, probably because of his crazy healing factor and amazing fashion sense. But I'm probably guessing it's because of the fact that only good people die in this world. So basically, I have said all of this to say this. Mr. Sinister, at his core, is a background schemer. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's still very much a big threat, but in contrast with the other X-Men villains, Mr. Sinister is a lot less blatant about his plans and prefers to set up all of the dominoes in the shadows, as you can see with Cyclops and Cable. And Mr. Sinister would also be responsible for an event known as the Mutant Massacre, where he massacred a bunch of mutants simply because their existence annoyed him. And Mr. Sinister is also responsible for the superpowers of a couple of characters you probably don't even know about, like, I don't know, Sabretooth, Wolverine, X-23, and Deadpool, but, you know, those are just minor characters, no big deal. And that's all because the founders of the Weapon X program, the program that made people like Wolverine and Deadpool, found Mr. Sinister's research at an abandoned Nazi concentration camp that Mr. Sinister was at before Hitler shot himself like the little bitch that he was. Yep. Mr. Sinister joined up with the Nazis. Well, not because he hated Jews or anything or believed in what they were doing, but because they had mad people that he could experiment on. It was like scientific sociopath Christmas. So yeah, basically, without Mr. Sinister, there would be no Wolverine or Deadpool or any of the other people that were affected by the Weapon X program. But judging by that post-credit scene, it seems like Nathaniel Essex Corporation will have a direct hand in the creation of X-23, the female Wolverine. But we shall see about that. And also with the Gambit movie coming up, I guess I should mention that Mr. Sinister has had dealings with Gambit in the past because he did something for Gambit and then Gambit felt like he owed him one. So they teamed up and did some really bad things that I won't get into, but basically Gambit was pretty much responsible for the Mutant Massacre because he gathered up all the Marauders so that Mr. Sinister could kill all those people. But that's all complicated, but just know that Gambit and Mr. Sinister have history. So, there's a good chance that Old Man Nathaniel could make an appearance in the Gambit movie coming up. But who knows? So, in summary, Mr. Sinister is basically a shady, pale motherfucker who makes evil plans for your life in the shadows. Like Emperor Palpatine. Or your crazy ex-girlfriend. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you haven't subscribed yet, do it, or just leave a thumbs up, or share this video. That also makes me happy on the inside. Also, you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, at Mastertainment, if you want, if you're on those things, or don't. Just live your life, and not do that. That's fine as well. My name is MT, and those were DaFAQs, and if you didn't know, now you know. Catch you guys later.